Right, shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel, which believes on his gospel through the names of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Draw the true names of the Father Yahweh and his beloved Son Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to the head apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, along with the sincere brethren that is also laboring in his work as well. To you I say shalom. I think I'm going to call this lesson Reap What You Sow. And this is another dynamic deal with the Most High. So whatever you sow, dealing with your flesh or your spirit, that's what you're gonna reap. Okay, and this is on a small scale and it's on a major scale. Now our Father, which is considered the husbandman, is the ultimate farmer or planter. Okay, and so what he does, he plants seeds in the earth, and whatever seed that is, whether it be wickedness or righteousness, that's what's gonna spring up. Okay, it's either his right hand or his left hand, and in this case it's his left hand, and wickedness has exceedingly polluted the earth, and it's time to reap. So that's what we're going to be getting into today. Lord willing, I hope this lesson is edifying. So let's begin. All right, we're going to kick it off in John 15 chapter, in the first verse, and it reads, I am the true vine. This is talking about Yahweh Shai, and my Father is the husbandman. All right, let's click on this real quick and find out what husbandman is talking about and what it means. Let's click on the Strongs. Georgas, that's the pronunciation in the Greek. And this is the definition: a husbandman, a tiller of the soil, a vine dresser. Down here it has a land worker, a farmer, and the Most High is considered the ultimate farmer. And like I said, he plants seeds, and in this case, we have a wicked seed that has sprouted up throughout the whole earth, and it's time to reap. And we're gonna kick it off right here in 2nd Esdras, 4th chapter, and starting at the 28th verse. But as concerning these things whereof thou asked me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. And this is Esdras talking to an angel concerning the future, right? It says, but as concerning the things whereof thou asked me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, which is now, but the destruction thereof is not yet. And that's the reaping. Verse 29, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. And that's why this kingdom and this world has to be destroyed, because as the scriptures tell you, wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and it's time to reap. Verse 30, for the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. And how much ungodliness have it brought up unto this time? And how much shall it bring forth until the time of threshing come? Ponder now for thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed have brought forth. All right, so this evil seed is dealing with a nation. That nation is dealing with the nation of Esau, who is ruling the earth, as pertaining to 2nd Esdras 6 and 9, and also the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked, which is the so-called white man today, which is the evil seed that the Most High planted. Verse 32, and when the ears shall be cut down, which are without number, how great a floor shall they fill? All right. Then answered I and said, how and when shall these things come to pass? Wherefore are our years few and evil? And he answered me, saying, do not thou hasten above the Most Highest, for thou haste is in vain to be above him, for thou hast much exceeded. Okay, so let's go to 2nd Esdras, the 8th chapter, verse 41. For as the husbandman, which is the Most High, soweth much seed upon the ground, and planted many trees, and yet the thing that is sown good in his season cometh not up, neither doth all that is planted take root. Even so it is of them that are sown in the world. They shall not all be saved. All right, so the Most High planted many seeds, but only a few took root. All right, and so those are going to be gathered during the day of refreshing. All right, which is the day of doom, as Trump likes to, downplay. Okay, so let's go to 42. And they answered then and said, if I have found grace, let me speak. Like as the husbandman's seed perisheth, if it come not up and receive not the rain in due season, or if there come too much rain and corrupt it, even so perisheth man also which is formed with thy hands, and is called thine own image, because thou art like unto him, for whose sake thou hast made all things, and liken him unto the husbandman's seed. All right. Yeah, the Most High planted many seeds, but it's time to pluck now, baby. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. There's two dynamics to everything that Most High created. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. And what's been planted? Wickedness. All right, wickedness has been planted in the earth. And now it's time to pluck up. All right, a time to kill and a time to heal. So it's a time to kill now. He's going to kill that which is planted, which is wickedness. And he's going to heal that which has been wounded, which is the Israelites in the earth. Okay, a time to break down and a time to build up. Okay, all of these are different dynamics that the Most High, deals with. All right, so this is Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 15. The Lord hath plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. Once again, two dynamics. Most High has a complete balance. He's plucked up the roots of the proud nations. And in this instance, you have the most proudest nation of all time, which is America, that is ruling the earth in wickedness. And so he's about to pluck up America and all these other nations along with America, because they took on the customs and the ways of America, which is Babylon the Great. And he said, and he planted the lowly in their place, and that's what he's doing now. He's raising up the lowly of the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives. That's why we out preaching on the streets, prophesying the downfall and collapse of America and these other nations, like we were commanded to do. And this is what's happening. It says, the Lord overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. And this how the Most High shows his power, And this is First Maccabees chapter 1. This is when that wicked root was planted. All right. This is during the time of the Greeks, Alexander the Great. So Alexander the Great reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them. And many years, and evils multiplied in the earth. That's key. And evils multiplied in the earth. So after this, Alexander the Great and his sons, all right, bad rule, evils were multiplied in the earth. This is a time when the Greeks and the Romans were ruling the earth. Verse 10, and there came out of them a wicked root that the Most High planted. Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. All right. So the point is that these Edomites who ruled the world during the time of the Greeks and the Roman Empire, they were considered a wicked root when they came into power, and the Most High plucked them up. All right. Rome got plucked up around 325 AD, and they came back into power to make an image of that old beast, in which in this period of time is called America. All right, which is an image of the ancient Roman Empire. And what do you know? Wickedness has polluted itself again. This is Psalms 37 and 35. This is King David. I have seen the wicked. King David saw this. I have seen the wicked in great power and spread himself like a green bay tree. that wicked root was planted during the time of the Renaissance again, and wickedness spread it out throughout all the earth again. Right? So, and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Right? So this is a wicked root or wicked seed that the Most High planted. Alright, to serve a purpose. So he can come back and, of course, destroy wickedness with righteousness. Okay, you can't just have righteousness and not have wicked. There has to be two dynamics with the Most High. And so what the Most High would do is he would plant these seeds, which are these kingdoms, and he will wait for them to sprout up and to pretty much become ripe. Then he will come in and reap those kingdoms by destroying them. All right, this is how the Most High does his business. It says, let me go to Job 4:8. Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. Even though it's the Most High doing this, he uses the white man, Esau, to sow wickedness by using the spiritual demon Satan. All right, so Satan controls Esau, the so-called white man, and he gets him to push wickedness in the earth to fulfill the will of the Most High, so he can come back and destroy him. Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. And why is it called wickedness? Because there's no judgment in the earth. All right, the laws have been done away with. It's Isaiah 24:5. The earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws. All right, the Most High has like 613 laws in the Bible, and they have transgressed almost every one. All right, because this earth was given to them to rule. All right, and they didn't rule it in righteousness. In fact, they went totally against the grain and put themselves up as the people, the chosen people of the Most High, and they transgressed the laws and deceived everyone on the entire planet. So they had to pay for that, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore had the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and there's going to be a judgment day, and few men left, because they follow after this so-called white man, Esau, and his philosophies. Right? The curse is considered Esau, who was marked after he killed his brother Abel, because his seed line goes all the way back to Cain, his spirit. Okay, and the Most High put a curse on Cain, lest anyone should find him, that they should kill him. So he preserved Cain all the way up to Judgment Day, and that spirit went through Esau, the so-called white man, when it showed forth through his skin, when the Most High took away his pigment, and this was called a curse. All right, Numbers 12 will tell you that having your pigment stripped away is considered a curse. When Miriam had her pigment taken away, all right, for coming up against Moses, right? She was leprous as snow. Leprous is a curse. All right, so let's go to Job 3rd chapter, 13th verse. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. All right, the Most High is the ultimate farmer. All right, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come and get ye down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for the wickedness is great. That wicked seed that was planted is great now. And it's time to pluck up. It's time to pluck it up. And so in order for him to pluck it up, he needs laborers, man. He needs laborers, which is dealing with the prophets coming in and prophesying the downfall of this kingdom and this society. These are called laborers of the word, all right? These are the ones who the Most High chose to preach his word in order to bring down his kingdom. Okay, and this is what the Most High is looking for. This is Luke chapter 10. Luke chapter 10 verse 1. After these things, the Lord appointed over 70 also. This is Lord dealing with his disciples. He appointed other 70 also, which is a complete number, right? And sent them 2 and 2 before his face into every city and place where he himself would come. All right, this is symbolic. Not symbolic, but it's actually happening again today with the men on the highways and byways doing what we're doing now. All right, preaching the downfall of this wicked kingdom, which is the Roman Empire revised again. All right, And our Lord did the same thing back when he was in Rome. He said, therefore said he unto them, the harvest is truly great, but the laborers are few. The laborers are few. You need men to preach his word and to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom. Because the Lord said, man, hey, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It's up to you to decide whether you're going to put your hand to the plow and to do your part and bring it down this kingdom and establishing the kingdom of the Most High. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he would send forth laborers into his harvest. Go your ways, behold, I send you forth as lamb among wolves. All right, carry neither purse nor scrip nor shoes, and salute no man by the way. So the Most High is through Yahweh Shai, he's looking for laborers, man. He's looking for people to work in the plow and put their hand to the plow and to pluck up wickedness and to sow righteousness. That's what we're doing with this word, all right? 1 Corinthians 3:8, now he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor, all right? So is every man for himself in this truth. Although we're all brothers, every man has to do his own part, all right? This eliminates you getting salvation or getting another man's reward, all right? For we are laborers together with the Most High Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. You are the Most High's husbandry, all right? Farmers. Let's take a look at that real quick. Let's get that. It's pretty much the same word.
Strong's G 1091.
Georgian, whatever the hell how you say it. But let's go down. A cultivated field, husbandry, tillage. All right. Cultivable, a farm. All right. So it's pretty much the same thing as the Most High being a farmer. He needs laborers to help, pluck up wickedness using his word and sowing righteousness, which is revealing the lies that have been, sown in his earth and establishing righteousness. So let's go to verse 10. 1 Corinthians 3:10. According to the grace of the Most High Yahweh, which is given unto me as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth on. All right. But let every man take heed how he buildeth their own. Okay, this is a work, man. Once you call into this truth, you get this understanding. You have to put your hand to the plow and work in order for you to receive a reward. Because Yahweh Shai worked. All right, he came as a servant and he did the will or the meat of the Most High who sent him. So it's not like I'll say this: if you desire to be part of the 144,000 and a king in the next kingdom, then you're gonna do the work and you're gonna present yourself in the best way that you can. You're gonna make sure that your election and your calling is sure. All right. So this is Hebrews 6:10. For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which he hath showed toward his name, in that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. And we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end, that ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises. And this is something that trickles all the way down from the head apostle to Har, all the way down to the least brother that comes into the faith. You're like a seed planted, and this word is considered a living water, and you water that seed, and that seed sprouts up, and eventually you're gonna start, producing fruit. If you're not producing fruit, then you're not being watered. You're not taking heed to the word. All right, and verse 13. For when Yahweh made the promise to Abraham, because he could swear by no greater, he swore by himself, saying, surely blessing I will bless thee, and multiplying I will multiply thee. And so after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. After he had patiently endured, all right, with the word, and did the commandment, which is laboring and showing his labor of love, he obtained the promise, and that's where we come in at. All right, we're laboring to obtain a prize. Matter of fact, let me get something real quick. Yeah, let me get something. The Psalms, the first chapter. It says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. His delight is in the law of the Most High, and his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth fruit in his season." All right? "His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but like a chaff which the wind driveth away." All right. "Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish." So yeah, man. I mean, we all seeds. When you come into this thing, you're a lively stone, of course, to the house of David, and you're also a seed which is being watered by this word. This is First Colossians or is it Corinthians? It's either First Colossians or First Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 1. And it reads, "Be ye followers of me, even as I am of Yahushua." So Paul was ministering to the saints just like Yahushua did. All right, he taught just like Yahushua did, and we want to come in that same stead. All right, "Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you." All right. So, us brothers in the truth, it's important for us to continue in that stead and walk that same walk that Yahushua did in order for us to obtain a reward. It says Revelations 2:26, "And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations." So this is a labor that you have to work for. All right. It's just like, man, if you this is a job. If you just sitting back and you're not doing nothing to obtain that reward, then you're not gonna get paid. You know, you can't go to a job and not expect to work and get paid. You're gonna get fired. So it's important for you, once you put your hands to this plow, to keep going and to keep, building up your riches in the kingdom. And this is not a grievous work. This should be something that you should take pride in doing, and you should be, excited to do, to do the works of the Most High and His Son, Yahushua. So, it's time to plug up the wickedness and plant the righteous, man. The righteous are being planted right now. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. Until the next time, I say, Shalom.